out Spurs fans near and far with your boys.
Yeah, 2-1.
Let's go. With your boys, Eugene, Sean, Marlon. But before we do the intro, let's give you a recap the last time we met. Let's go. That says...
I have no idea how we're going to score the 2 goals, but in my mind, that sounds...
Own goals.
Marlon, so we've heard 2-1 from Sean, 2-1 from Eugene, 1-0 from me. You haven't given us a prediction for the United game.
I just want to win, but I'm not going to be there. Hopefully, I'm the jinx. So hopefully, my nephew can bring some good luck and make them win. I just want to win by any means. But
yeah, 1-0 header.
Yeah. All right, now I'll do. Man U are going to win. There's 3 points. Man U lose to Arsenal, beat Fulham, and beat Newcastle. I'm going 9 points.
9.
Yes, and
Marlon is 9 points. Sean.
Yeah, I think Frank's record against Marco Silva's not too bad, so I think he will beat Fulham. Strange kickoff, isn't it? 8 o'clock or something on Saturday night.
It would be mad if we lost all 4 games, you know.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It would be mad if we lost all 4 games. For me, if we lose all 4 games, and I mean Frank out, I'm not putting up with this his first season. I'm not putting up with that crap. For me, for Frank to save his job and to prove to us that he might be the new Poch, because that's what people have suggested, that he could maybe equal what Poch did or go one better, then he's got to win at least 2 of these games. I don't know which 2, but he's got to win 2 of them.
It's a hard thing, you know.
Why?
For his own safety, he has to win the home games, Deji. Because it's the home fans that are really suffering.
Eugene.
I'm going to be optimistic. I would say I can see us getting 7 points. I would settle for 6. I think the minimum is 6 points. And hopefully, if, we're due for a result at Newcastle, so I'll go for a point there. So we could get 7, but I'll settle for 6. Anything less than 6 points for me would not, would be unacceptable.
Can I ask you, where's the 6 points?
Man U and Fulham. And then I'll take a point either, obviously Arsenal or Newcastle,
The way it's looking, I can't see Spurs winning at home. I can't see us winning at home. Asa says here, unfortunately, Tottenham will only be taking 2 points out of the next 4 games. That's very possible. It's very possible that we might get no point like the Eurovision Song Contest. At the very best, Spurs can get 6 points. I've got my boys, Sean, Marlon, Eugene. I think it's always nice to have a recap. So I'm going to ask you how you're all doing and then reflections on the last 4 games. So, Eugene, I saw you smiling. Look, you got the draw at St. James's Park, right? So at least you got that.
Man, yeah, that was... Usually, you know me, people say I'm negative. I was trying to be optimistic for once. And as always, I should know better. So, yeah, not a great prediction, to be fair.
Yeah, no problem. Welcome, Eugene. It's so good to have you. We're going to dive in today. Sean, you had us about 7 points, was it?
It was whatever I had. It was a mare, an absolute mare. My God. I did say he has to win the home games, and he didn't.
He
didn't, and it was. Oh God! I mean, even the draw with United felt like a defeat.
Yeah,
because you got 2-1 up in injury time to draw 2-2.
Shocking.
I mean, I was chatting to Marlon before we went on air. We were so lucky against Newcastle. Honestly, we were so lucky. And he's like he's just stumbled into some kind of formation, which he was reluctant to play. He's like he's taken umbrage with Simmons for some reason, and then Simmons has come and saved his arse in the last 2 games.
Could you imagine?
Even though I'm still shuddering from that. Well, I can't even say the word performance. That apparition at the Emirates, where we didn't even bother to show up.
Yeah,
I mean, for God, I nearly swore there. For goodness sake, if you don't put a foot in that game, then you don't deserve it, and that's on the manager.
Yeah, 100%.
That was a terrible selection.
100%. And we're going to get into it. Sean. Big up to you, and welcome to be here, Marlon. You just had some opportunities to see your reflections. You were over optimistic, mate. Man was coming out with 9 points. We got 2 points.
I must be having a rough time. I must be having a rough time at work because that prediction was way off. But I think now I'm more experienced with Frank. So if you gave me those predictions again, it will be nowhere near that. That was actually wild. I was laughing every time. I don't know. At least I know now I'm going to be more realistic. That was just being positive, Marlon. But that was a lot, man.
That was definitely
that was quite shocking. Though, I'm not going to lie.
So it was wild. But I think at the time, part of our predictions was because maybe you were hoping that deep down Frank was better than he is, if that makes sense. But I'm just going to go to Eugene real quick. Eugene, before we kind of talk ahead, the way we're going to structure it tonight is we're going to quickly look at those 4 games from our predictions. Then we're going to look at the last 2 games and whether there's been a shift before obviously looking at the next 4 games. So looking at those 4 games, what was the big thing that stood out for you from those performances? You heard Sean say that we were lucky at St. James's Park, and I'm going to let Sean dive in more detail, but let us know your thoughts. And big up to everyone that's locked on. Make sure you smash the like. And love from my brother, Sean. He's on the podcast, already showing man love, and then he shows man extra love. That's what you call true love. Do you understand? That's my brother. That's my family. Thank you, Sean, for the support. Always supporting. And I'm so sorry it's cold. You need to come down south, and I'll be sending you a ticket to join your boy. But Eugene, those 4 games, we drew against United, we lost to Arsenal, we lost to Fulham, and we drew to Newcastle. 2 points. 2 points. What say you?
Bro, I mean, honestly, nothing changed from the beginning of the season. After the first couple of games, I was saying I'm not seeing it. The double pivot of Bentancur Palhinha doesn't work for me, especially at home. We're very limited. The way Frank is setting up, nothing through the middle, where we were dead last. I think we still are in line breaking passes. Mm-hmm. There's no imagination. There's nothing. We're playing like a mid-table team, especially at home, especially against lesser sides, which to me is unacceptable. And for me, again, not to be that horse, but this season is somewhat like a write-off. I know we're not going to win anything. And for me, I just want to see us building something, just having a project, and I want to see us improve. So far, nobody has improved really.
Because I don't like cutting you, but when you say write-off, could you just give a bit more detail? What does write-off look like, and then continue? Sorry.
So, I mean, everybody said, I mean, you know me, I'm on a bunch of streams. I try to be everywhere. Most people said they want us to finish between 5th and 8th. And I said, that's about right. 6th, 7th, depending on our injuries. So for me, if we don't win a trophy, it's write-off. But I want to see us improving. I want to see us improving from game to game. I want to see a philosophy. I want to see intent. I want to see what the new manager is trying to implement. Again, we can talk about, Jose, Conte, Ange, with all of them, whether what they did worked or not. At least we saw what they're trying to implement, what they're trying to do. And with Frank, he's just all over the place. I haven't seen the philosophy. I have no idea what he's trying to do. And to me, the most important thing, and I was talking about it from the start, is I don't think he has a presence to him. There are many good coaches in the league, in the world, who know their X's and O's, but they need to have a presence or an aura to manage a top club. So just going back kind of a full circle, the last 4 games, I was hoping that after a slow start, we'll turn that around, especially against Arsenal. Nobody expected a win, but I wanted to see intent. I wanted to see us, let's give it a go. If we lose, we lose. But after the Chelsea performance, I wanted us to step up. And that was honestly one of the most shocking games I have ever seen. I've ever watched us play. It was diabolical. And then just to go and, put in the performance against Fulham like we did, it was unacceptable. So it's, every time you think that's a new low, we go even lower.
Yeah.
And as you said, we can talk about the last 2 games a bit later. To me,
Yeah.
not much has changed.
We're gonna get
However,
into
and again, I just want to see better. Win or lose, again, at this point, as I said, if we lose, we lose. But I want the coach to implement his philosophy. I want to see intent. I want us to be brave. And we're just playing like cowards. So to me, that's unacceptable.
Big up Eugene. Eugene set the context and the scene there. Sean, those 4 games in particular, we're going to have an opportunity to talk about, obviously, the last 2 games. But Sean, I mean, you've been calling. Do you know what? Let me just contextualize this. Sean, my brother, is one of the die-hard Spurs fans, and I can't lie, I find it extremely strange when Sean ain't really backing this guy. It must be bad. When Sean is not even feeling this guy one bit. He hasn't felt this guy from the off. But Sean, what are you telling me?
Do you know what? I don't know if you saw it. Did you see Maddison on Sky on Monday Night Football?
A bit of it, yeah.
Did you see him talking about how he loved playing for our previous manager?
Yeah.
Did you see there was real passion there, and he said,
I need
and
to
as he
watch
said,
that, you know.
and at the end he says, yeah, we had ups and downs, but we won a bloody trophy, and that's what Tottenham should be about, winning bloody trophies. Yeah. Oh my God! Honestly, this guy, I don't think the players are playing for him. Yeah. I think they're playing because of him, in spite of him. I mean, honestly, he ran out of players to pick, so he had to pick the X-Man in midfield for the last 2 games. What does the X-Man do? He wins the 2 games on his own. Yeah. But you, as night follows day, you bet he's not playing on Saturday. Sunday. And I just think that mark it down here. Clip me up. If he doesn't pick Simmons on Sunday, he should be bounced out on Monday, because he doesn't know his, as they say up here, his ass from his elbow. You know what I mean? He's oh God, I've never. I mean, we've just lucked into 2 games. He's just bought himself a bit more time.
Don't worry, we're going to get into the 2 games, but we're dealing with the 4. Don't worry, we're going to get into the 2 games.
So, he lucked. I mean, Newcastle. I mean, if it wasn't for Romero, the only world-class player we've got left now, as we were reminded on Tuesday night when Son came back to say goodbye, if it weren't for him, we don't get anything out of that game. Yeah. We were terrible. And Newcastle just seemed to have a bit of they're susceptible late on. So if they'd gone 3-1 up, they would have seen that out. But they didn't go 3-1 up, and Romero does what Romero does. Heart
on sleeve.
But it's not, to me. It's we're 2 steps back and 1 step forward, and that's how it's going at the moment.
Damn. I hope Jay Simpson's hearing this, because Jay Simpson in the chat, He's a diehard Spurs fan. He bloody loves Frank. He is all over Frank. So Jay Simpson, I didn't look. These guys are the regulars for the blueprint. Every 4 games, my brothers turn up. None of these brothers are feeling your guy. So I'm just letting you know. Marlon, the 4 games: Arsenal, Man U, Fulham, Newcastle, 2 points. You said 9. I don't obviously look. No one's judging you, bro. We can all make mistakes.
No, I need to be judged. I need to be in court. I need to go in court for that. I don't know. I think I was looking forward to going Amsterdam to those weekends because I must have been. I told you, I must have been stressed at work and just thought Spurs are gonna make me happy. And boy, what I will say is, out of the 4 games, we only saw one half of decent football, and I think that was the second half against Man U, where I watched it from Amsterdam. I thought, oh, they look all right, but prior to that, it's been.
Hold on, the telltale word was there from Amsterdam.
From Amsterdam, yeah.
Was it through
his eyes was fuzzy. His eyes was fuzzy.
Exactly. So, to be fair, Eugene said it correctly, as told us Sean before we came on. Eugene said we play like cowards. 110%. We're playing like every team we go up against is in the Premiership and we're like in Division 3. The amount of respect Frank gives to teams is so alarming. It pees me off, especially to go home games and watch. I'm just like, what the hell? The Fulham game was a tipping point. I was like, what are you doing? Fulham deserved it. And they could have been up 4, potentially 5-0 at halftime, just because we didn't go for the game. But then what Sean said before we came on, I think he's fell into, or by accident, got into a formation where he had no choice but to play Simmons. One holding DM, and he's got Gray now alongside Bentancur or Paulinho. So he's got a bit more legs in there and it's a bit more fluent. It's still not the best, but yeah, I think we're getting there slowly. But those 4 games were very, very worrying, and it was like an eye opener, because if we didn't win recently, we were sliding down the table far. And we're not a bad team. Spurs have actually got a good squad and a lot of decent players, and this ain't reflecting where we should be. To be fair, he's too scared, and that's my point.
100%. I would say we've slid down the table. I think the only reason why we're where we are is because the Premier League has been crap this season, to be honest with you. Really, we should be lower. I'm going to bring you in, Eugene. The only thing I really wanted to say, I always mark my manager based on how we show up in the North London derby. Because for me, if that win, lose or draw, I just need to see the spirit of William Wallace, man. I just need to see some brave hearts. I just need to see that we want to fight. Under Harry Redknapp, we fought these brothers. Under Pochettino, we fought these brothers. We might not always win. We went for under Ange's first season, we got a 2-2 draw. And that was when I bought into Ange. I was like, bloody hell, we went to the Emirates and came out with a 2-2 and we were the better team. Nah, this guy must be legit. But when I saw Mourinho pussy out, Conte pussy out, that's when I checked out and said, nope, that is a no-no for me. You don't check out against your nearest and dearest. And to put up that pathetic performance, and I think for me, what really grates me is that Eze getting a hat-trick and mugging us. Do you know, I was ashamed. I've never been ashamed as a Spurs fan. But after that North London derby, legit, I looked in the mirror and said, I'm ashamed of my club. And that's when I said, I'm only going to be wearing black this season until I see a run of games. But Eugene, you wanted to say something, brother.
Just to make this a good show, since we all agree with each other, which is not fun, I want to disagree a bit with Sean on 2 players, on Romero and on Simmons. By the way, I'm not calling him Xavi until he improves. He does not deserve this name yet. So first, Romero, I like him a lot. He's an elite player, not world-class for me. He's not consistent. Even in the Newcastle game, even though he scored twice, he gave up that header in the first 10 minutes to Valdemade, I think. Free header, like not marking him. He's just so inconsistent. especially defensively. He loses focus too often for me to be called world class. I do like him though. That's one thing. And Simmons, like so far this season, he turned up against the Czech electricians and Copenhagen, and we can tell
It's the truth.
like he was playing in Bundesliga when he's given space and when the teams are not physical, he's doing really well. However, in the Prem against good competition, when the players are physical and when there is pace in the pitch, he struggles. I'm hoping he just needs a period to adjust, but he gets, just pushed off the ball too easily. He's just not on it. So I'm glad that, I'm hoping he's finding his feet. However, from what I've seen, I just think he thrives against weak competition that give him space. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope he gets consistent playing time and improves. But as of now, the performances against Copenhagen and Prague, yes, he was good, but to me, not as impressive as it looks on at face value. Just my 2 cents.
Well, we might as well use this to kind of segue now into the last two games. So, Sean, he's called you out in terms of Xavi Simmons.
I didn't call him out. I just
no, not like call out. I'm just using that language, but we know it's not call out. It's friendly banter here. But has there been a shift? Is there something for us to be optimistic about? Because you said he's kind of landed on this system. So could this be a Conte moment? Conte landed on that system that won him the league. Are you saying that potentially after all the pain we've suffered so far this season, there could be light at the end of the tunnel? Oh, gosh.
He's landed on the most progressive formation he can pick at the moment. That's literally all he's got is at this moment. Because if Kulusevski was available, Simmons doesn't play. He just doesn't play. I'm sorry, Kulusevski is twice the player Simmons is. I think she might need to have a word with Xavi's mum for not allowing her boy to have his first name.
Exactly.
But anyway, I think no, it's I think we need to. He's dropped the double pivot, but I can see it coming back in games coming up. You know what I mean? I bet like the double pivot. I can see it coming up against Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's just too cautious, just too. I don't know. His mentality is still there at Brentford, and. He's not. The difference is he had a week between matches at Brentford. They would go out of the cups early. Well, he's got out the Carabao Cup. I think he'll. The FA Cup. We may as well say goodbye to that now. And the only thing is we've got a potential UCL playoff either side of a North London derby at our place.
Yeah.
Just what I don't know. I think He's gonna get what he wants, which is a week between games, and it's going to be in mid-January, and the season will be done. And at this rate, I just see us appearing above the crease in the table, the match of the day crease. That top 10. We might creep into 10th, and that's all he's going to achieve. And hell mend him next summer. When the quality of managers become available, which will become available, because I will be there saying, get the fraud out.
Yeah. Sean, I hear you, mate. Marlon, you said you saw something positive the last 2 games. Has there been a shift? And I'll give you my thoughts as well. I'm leaning on Sean and Eugene this evening. Marlon? Well, whilst Marlon is tuning in, I said for me, the reason why I'm not buying it, I was on Spurs King TV yesterday. The man then was quizzing me. Big Preach was being his shameless self, projecting onto me because his club is one of the dustiest teams we've seen in the Premier League. And by the way, I keep saying it everywhere I go. I did say that Arne Slot was a fraud and I was laughed at. Well, look who's laughing now, Liverpool fans. Anyway, that's another story. My thing is this: Slavia Prague. We can't take anything from that game. I mean, they're so crap that I actually don't like this format. That's how far I've gone. Like, there's some teams that shouldn't be in the Champions League, and unfortunately, Slavia Prague is one of them. They are so bummy, them and Copenhagen. Then, let's put this into perspective. Our best performance of the season was against Brentford. Well, what do we know about Brentford? Well, Thomas Frank was in charge for 9 years. He built that bloody team. So if anyone knows how to unpick and destroy that team, it would be who? Thomas Frank. So for me, based on that, I'm not sure that Thomas Frank really is that guy. And I think we will know if Thomas Frank is that guy based on our performances against Liverpool and Crystal Palace. So for me, I can take nothing from the last 2 games. I do agree with you,
Edge. There's one thing we can take out of the Prague game is we bought the wrong keeper. Instead of buying Kinski, we should have bought that other keeper. He looked like a top keeper. I mean, he should have been 6. He made some great saves, so we should have gotten that guy instead of Kinski. 100%. But yeah, it's just kind of one thing to back up a bit. Just to double click on what Sean said, I don't mind, honestly, if we finish 10th this season. However, I want to see Archie Gray play. I want to see what we've got with him. I want to know if Odeberg is a player. I want to know if Bergvall can improve. If Frank says, you know what, I'm not going to play Benson Kerr, I'm not going to play, the old heads, I'm going to play the kids. And if we finish 10th this season, but next season, by the start of next season, we'll know if Archie Gray is a player, if Odeberg is a player, and if Bergvall can be a top player. I'm cool with that. Yeah. What I don't want to do, I don't want to see Paulinho and Bentancur anymore. And next season, we still have no idea who Archie Gray is, or if Bergvall can lead us, or if Odeberg is a player. That would be just back to square one. So positioning for me isn't the biggest issue. I want to see improvement because we were all told that Frank is a good coach. He's going to improve players. So far, everybody regressed. I haven't seen any improvement. Maybe bar Van der Ven, and that's it. So the positioning, forget it. But
improved, or he's just not been injured?
No, I mean, honestly, I think he's been our best center back. I mean, Romero, again, some games he's top, some games he's shaky, but Van der Ven has been consistent for us. The issue with Romero is he's our only passer on the team. Nobody else can pass the ball. If Romero doesn't make that line-breaking pass, nobody else can do it. Porro, I don't know what happened to him. He forgot how to cross the ball, how to pass. Like, I don't know what's going on. So, but yeah, last 2 games looks good on paper, but whether we actually improved, we'll see on Sunday if Frank learned his lesson.
Yeah, big up. All right, Marlon, this is your chance just to touch in on this segment before we kind of move on to the next game, what we think. But could this be a shift for Spurs? Have we landed on this formation? Before you answer, Jay Simpson came up with a point that I starred. Just let me read it out quickly. Jay, thank you for your comments. He says, no, hold on. I just want to find the comment because he argues that he didn't stumble across. He says, I don't think he's landed on this system. We've played like 20 games in all comps, and it's only now we've got it right. That's not luck. You got to find your system. Eugene there is squinting hard there. Jay, I did tell you, yeah. Squinting hard. Has he found his system, Marlon?
He stumbled on it. Oh, God, I'm not really buying what anyone else said. Do you know what? There's a lot of, obviously that's that person's opinion, but I do have a lot of other fans that are well into Frank. I've never really been a Frank fan like that. And now he's at Spurs, it's just not made it worse, but it's made me think, I just don't know if you're ready for a big club. How long do we give this guy just because he's a nice person? Because to me, I think he tinkers too much, man. I like positive, progressive managers, not managers that are pragmatic and, oh, we're coming up against Burnley, let's put this for mate. No, mate, go for it. Have a start. I don't even know what style Spurs do. Don't get it wrong. The last 2 games have been all right. The last home game was pretty decent, but Brentford really is that a yardstick to compare Spurs with?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm still very I'm questioning some of his decisions, but let's see how it goes. I do think if it was an Ange or any other manager, they would never have got this amount of time to even be like in this position. Because let's be honest, I think we were in a better position last year under Ange, and he had a lot more injuries than Frank this year. I'm not saying bring back Ange, but I just think at least he had a go at teams. And yeah, we might have lost. It's a better game to watch. Now it's like watching Spurs. It's like I can read a magazine watching Spurs. You know, that's how bad it is sometimes. Yeah, but anyway, let's see how it goes. I don't know, against Forest, if we lose, would I be surprised? No, because he's not going to go for it. But anyway, let's see how it goes anyway. So,
well, yeah. I can testify to what's so boring. I spend more time during my watch along looking at the comments in the chat than the actual game. That tells you all you need to know. That tells you all you need to know. Do you know what I found myself doing that I should have said in the last 4 games also? I found myself begging Spurs to just have a shot on goal. I just wanted to have a shot on goal.
But to be fair, the last 2 games, they have done better. That's why I like the Brentford game. I was like, bloody hell, we're having chances. Because normally it's just like...
Is that because he knows Brentford, or is it because he's...
Maybe because he knows them. Yeah, maybe.
But Deji, I also think that the Andrews played into his hands as well, because he tried to be too cute, didn't he? He dropped players against Arsenal in the midweek, thinking I can do a job on Spurs, and the players he dropped were those players that need to consistently be playing week in and week out, and so you didn't. What's his name? What's that? Norgard, is it? No. The Danish player.
I think I know the player you're talking.
They're number 10. He just didn't show, didn't I?
I think it's Norgard. He's all right,
Damsgaard, yeah.
Yeah, he's all right.
Damsgaard,
No, Nausgaard, yeah.
Yeah, and Nathan, he dropped Nathan Collins as well. Nathan Collins had a mare.
Yeah.
So not only does he know Brentford, he also had his old set piece coach helping him out by trying to be too cute against Arsenal in the midweek. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
So I'm not having it. No, I'm not having it. He's when I think back to the first day of the season when we played Burnley, our midfield was Sarr, Bergvall, and Gray.
Yeah.
And that was the best we've played at home until in the last couple of games. And he's just
but that was Burnley.
I find
it don't matter though. I mean, you these players, these are young players and they're not new. I mean, Bergvall was important about us getting to the final. He didn't play in the final, but it was important for getting us to the final. Archie Gray played every bloody position but his own last season.
Yeah.
These players, they've got great potential.
He looked all right in midfield.
The only thing I find strange, though, guys, if I can just say, so under Ange, we were too gun-ho. So what we wanted is we wanted a little bit of balance. What we've got is the complete opposite of Ange, which is extremely risky.
We've got Danish Conte, mate.
Danish Conte. Balance, though.
Yeah, Danish Conte with a little bit of tinker, man, because I agree. Like, why are we constantly changing? Like, somebody said, it's a question that I want to throw. Maybe this is the right time to throw at us. But what is our best 11? Like, because for me, football is about rhythm. You need rhythm. You build that relationship on the pitch in matches. If Xavi's going to make that turn or that jink, it becomes, football needs to be instinctive. If you watch Kane and Son, They didn't need to see where each other were. They just knew. That comes with time of playing. But when you keep changing the bloody starting 11 or the midfield or the attackers, you can't build that chemistry. No? What happened to building chem? Sean, is that a point? Is that a legit point?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not even sure what the best 11 is because I don't think we've got a best 11. We've got probably a best 9. And then you can throw in any 2 from 7 for the other 2 places. I just, I can't get over comment in there 0.01 xg. Come on. We've got to be hitting. We've got to be making the goalkeeper work, earn his crust. And then we
remember this year we broke some records. This year we've set some records with XG.
and then when it breaks down, we line up in a big line across our box, and we shield the goalkeeper can't see where the shot's coming from, and before he knows it, it's past him.
Yeah,
and it's I don't know. I just don't think he's just not got it. He's just not got it, I'm afraid, and I think we will be out of all cups by the end of January, and then we'll just have to limp through for the rest of the season. And we're winning nothing this year. Nothing.
That's expected though, and that's why I was annoyed when he rotated against Newcastle in the League Cup, because even though it's a League Cup, but I was like, hey, just go with the strongest team. That's our best chance to actually win a trophy. And he set, I think 4 starters or 3 starters, and that was our chance. But I want to touch quickly, if you don't mind, on what you said about us being too open last season, and this season we shifted the other way. I'm getting really annoyed. People just throw the stats saying, we've only conceded X number of goals, or we scored X number of goals. We are not solid at the back. We give up chances for fun. Our issue was that early on we played against weaker teams who couldn't score. They had a lot of chances. We give up a ton of chances. The teams couldn't score against us. The better teams, they put 4 against us, every time. So we're still wide open in the back somehow. And I have no idea how. How can you play low block and be wide open at the same time? To me, that makes no sense. But we are wide open at times, which makes no sense to me.
I totally agree with you. And I think for me, what even makes it wide open is we're not being done on the wings, we're being done in the middle. The Arsenal game, Eze scored a hat-trick from the bloody middle. PSG game, goals are going in from Vitinha from the middle. The middle, when you're doing a low block, is meant to be the strongest part of the defense.
Oh, sorry. And by the way, what actually bugs me, every single game almost, we concede the same goal from edge of the box. Eze scored 3 times, right? I think, but every game, we give up the same goals where our midfielders, like Bentancur and Pellegrini, are so deep that we always just let a midfielder take that shot from edge of the box. Villa, I believe, there were probably 5 or 6 games this season where we keep giving up the same goal. So what's Frank doing? Is he actually how many iPads does he need? We give up the same goal again and again and again. It's just coach, man.
Frank knows every stat, every XG, everything going. Do you know what? You'd have to watch 1,400 games to concede those 2 goals against Aston Villa. But we managed to do it. Those XG were so small that we should, as I say, you'd have to watch 1,400 games to see those 2 goals go in. And this is what we're like. Weak mentality, and the coach is he's just not up to it. He's just not up to it.
I got a quick question before we quickly go to the next 4 games. Jay Simpson says, Deji, how can we build chemistry when our best players are out? Bar Solanke, our better players are injured. Me personally, I actually don't think it makes a difference. If he had Madders and Kulusevski right now, what difference would that make? I'm not sure those 2 brothers and Solanke coming back, all of a sudden we start clicking. I haven't seen enough in what Frank is trying to do, because nobody bloody knows what he's trying to do. I don't think he knows what he's trying to do to even remotely suggest that. So it's this thing about our best players being out is a reason. I'm not sure about that. But does anyone else have a different opinion? Eugene's nodding his head.
Chemistry is not. Chemistry and quality are different things. You can say our best players are out, even though I don't rate Kulu that much. But chemistry is just a relationship between the players who are on the pitch. So play Odobert every single game, play Simmons every single game, and see if they develop something, right? But changing lineups every single game, it doesn't matter if the players are good or not good. They need to develop a relationship on the pitch.
Yeah.
And changing lineups every time, that's not going to develop any chemistry. So it has nothing to do with who's available. It's just being consistent with who you play.
Yeah. Because people say, and Sean, I'll ask you this question then, following on from Eugene, I'll ask you and you and Marlon. Is the issue here Frank, or is it the players? Because I've heard people say the players ain't showing up, the players ain't showing up, the players ain't showing up. I'm like, well, maybe he's just not utilizing the players in the best way. I've not criticized any of our players, because me personally, I genuinely think the issue is Frank and not the players. But hey, I don't know. Is there an argument that maybe the players are letting him down?
No, I don't think they're letting him down. I just don't think that they're convinced by him. You know, I mean, they tried to gloss over that, you know, the Van der Ven and Spence thing at the end of the game way back. But that to me spoke volumes.
Yeah.
Spoke volumes. I don't think
I agree.
You know,
and Porro as well. And Porro, he kicked off as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the fans haven't helped. You know, the booing of Vicario was out of order. Out of order. I said the same.
That was nonsense. Yeah.
And when they went back, when they did it to Davinson Sanchez back in the day as well, that was another disgraceful thing. But our fans know what type of football they want to see, and they haven't seen it. They're just not seeing it, and we're paying enormous amounts of money for our tickets. And in how many games have we really competed? Even the Burnley game, which I was raving about the fact that he played the youngsters in midfield. If Burnley had a striker that day, it could have been 3-3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not. They're the sort of teams that you should be just putting to bed. If you consider yourself a top six team, they're the teams that you put to bed.
Yeah.
You know, Wolverhampton Wanderers have got 2 points.
Yeah.
50% of those points were given by Tottenham Hotspur, and they should have had all 3 points, but for a last-minute goal from Paulinho.
I was there, Sean. Remember, I was there. Sean. Guys, can I even let you know?
And the thing is, Wolves actually played. Wolves played well. Wolves played well.
Marlon, I was there when we equalised. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Tottenham fans are the most shameless fans, because for me, sometimes you gotta let it be known that this was luck. When we equalised, I stayed still. The way everyone was jumping up and down around me, it looked at me like I was like a bloody Arsenal fan. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, don't be celebrating this crap. We just got our last minute at home to Wolves. Do you know what I'm saying? He's an absolute madman. Now, I fully agree with you, Sean. Fully.
Yeah.
My brothers, let me just answer some questions. Let's answer some questions real quick, and then we'll get to the next 4 games quickly. Sorry. Let's see. Question for the panel. We've already done that from Ghost. He asks, what was our best 11? Did we cover that? Best 11? Do we have a best 11? Could you put a best 11 together?
Sorry, Ghost, I can't help you, mate, because I don't know our best 11.
I don't know either.
All I know is that we look better on the left when we have Udogie, Odobert, and Simmons, because they seem to know each other or even tell sometimes. But
Udogie has been shaky. He's been really disappointing this season. He hasn't done it for me.
No,
I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't agree. I think the way Frank sets up, sorry for biting Sean, he has 4 at the back and he goes 4-3-3. He's expecting Undogi to do the whole left. That's madness. That's the only reason he looks poor. Because when he goes up, he's expected to come back straight away. He hasn't got no cup. If you watch the performances where people have questioned it, see who is covering him or helping him out. Nobody. So that's the only reason he might not look the same. Is because he's expecting the same. Is expecting him to basically, let's say, mark two players. And also, when we play, all Spurs do is go to the right, give it to Kudos. So nothing's on the left at all. If you watch back the performance, I said where he's played, where people have questioned it, watch he has no support and he's expected to do the whole left on his own. That's the only reason why he has looked a bit dodgy. But when he plays, the balance is so much better than when you have Spence, because he's naturally left-footed and he can go around and do what left-foot players do on their side of the pitch. Spence now, he cuts inside all the time. If you watch Spence when he plays on the left, there's only the last game and maybe against Brentford, 2 games that we should be performing anyway. That's the only 2 games you saw Spence this season charging up and down the pitch because they'll play 2, let's say, poor teams. Sorry, that was my 2 minutes.
Yeah. No,
What happened to the Nottingham Forest Spence? Why did we have to go and buy the Middlesbrough Spence? I mean, you know.
But you know what, Sean? You pick on a relevant point, and I was going to mention this. Like, I was speaking to Wolfie earlier in the preview, and one of the things he said was that at Nottingham Forest, one of the greatest times he had with Spence was the relationship he had with Brennan Johnson. And for me, as a football manager, and no doubt, Eugene, you're the same because you manage your kids' team as well. Football's about them little relationships. I would be experimenting on the right-hand side, Spence and Johnson. If it worked for Nottingham Forest, why don't we give that a try? Like, I don't. That's what pisses me off about Frank. He doesn't do the obvious things. Do your research. Look at the players. Who works well with who? What's got out the best out of the players in their previous clubs? Did some of them know each other before? All of that stuff. Work it out. And then stick them together. He's not. I don't think Spence and Brennan Johnson have actually played on the same side at all this season. And Brennan Johnson, as terrible as he is, dare I say, he still deserves a sniff. Don't you agree? He deserves a little bit of a sniff. Eugene's laughing. I don't think Eugene agrees. But Eugene,
no, I agree.
He deserves a sniff, no?
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Because we know he's a fox in the box. He can sneak a goal. So what the hell's going on? Because Brendan Johnson's not getting any. He's not getting any game time.
I mean, so the way Ange plays, that like Johnson was always there for the back post tap in, but Frank doesn't seem to want that. He wants their wingers to actually take on their man and create something, and Johnson cannot do that. So maybe that's why he's not getting any playing time, even though he was our leading scorer last season. So that's mad to me. As far as Spence versus Udogie, I don't think that Spence has been that poor. Like Udogie, my issue is not even with him not being great defensively. It's just his decision making this season is suspect. It's like when he's supposed to release the ball, he holds on to it too long, like Kudus. He doesn't take his players on. Like, just the decision making is off. So regardless of tactics, he just, I don't know, something is missing there. He just doesn't seem as sharp as when he just came in to our club. So, and Spence, I don't know, I would sit Poro for a couple of games for sure. I agree. I would play Spence on the right, but I just haven't seen enough from Udogie as far as the decision making to say he's our fullback of the future. He's just something is off.
Yeah,
I'm
he's not
disappointed in him.
He started off looking like Ashley Cole, and the brothers looking dusted and Tutankhamun. I think Udogie's just, he's not that guy. I really don't think he's that guy, to be honest. I think ever since he got done by Minty Breath, he hasn't been the same. But gentlemen, look, I'm just going to get our next 4 games up. Sorry, let's just do it so you guys can see. Sorry, I am messing around at the backstage here. But these are our games: Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, and away to Brentford. Sean, touching on this weekend, just slightly, the Forest game, and then give us your overall prediction for the next 4 games. Sean, you're on mute. Sorry.
Okay, my friend. You do realise that Thomas Frank's worst record against any manager is against Sean Dyche. He's never beaten him.
He's never beaten him.
He's never beaten.
Jeez, I'm in trouble, man.
So we're asking for him to go into spaces he's never been to before. So we're not beating Forest. We're losing 1-0, 2-0. Liverpool, we're going to play a deciding factor in the Slot versus Salah debate, and we're going to lose that game by a single goal. Palace will beat us at their place, and Brentford will get their revenge at their place. So we are going to get 0 points.
So you're saying no points?
No points at all.
Jay Simpson says when we win those games, we'll be saying aha. And if you look at it, it does say aha. And no chance.
Very clever, Jay.
Jay, that's what you're getting from Sean tonight. He's not having a bar of it. He's got no point, no point. Marlon, what are you telling us?
Do Eugene quick now. Come back to it, please.
All right, cool. Eugene.
I mean, there is no excuse for us not to beat Forest. I mean, we do play better away, so Forest is just, they're not good. Liverpool, they're not good either, but it's going to be tough. I mean, honestly, it's so difficult to predict. We can go either way, right? We can get draws, we can win, we can lose. It's so hard to say what's going to happen. All I know is against Palace, that's definitely we're going to lose because that's a tough game. But other 3 games, to be honest, it can go either way. It just depends on how Frank wants to set up. If we play Palhinha, Bentancur, and we have nothing through the middle, we're probably going to lose. If he learned his lesson and he shows more intent, we have a chance because none of those teams are really good. So it's tough to predict.
I hear what you're saying, that it's tough to predict, but in the last 4 that we did before, you said they needed to be a minimum number of points, and I think the minimum number you stated was 6. And Sean, I'll ask Sean as well, just in case. Sean says no point, but because for me, if he gets no point, he has to lose his job. Surely, it's Frank. I mean, I'm already Frank out, but I'm guessing what would he need for us to give him a reprieve?
I say 5 points at least.
Back to Sean, yeah.
I say 5 points at least. I mean, he's got to get at least 5 points out of these games.
Damn. Sean, do you agree with that? 5 points? Can you see him getting 5? I know you've gone 0 points. You've gone the full other direction, but I mean, we would love to see us win all 4 games, but for you to maybe give Frank a little chance, a little bit of a reprieve, because what would he need to do for you to say, you know what, I'm not happy with him still, but he managed to get X amount of points, so you know what,
Deji, it's not in my hands whether he keeps his job or not. Yeah. That's down to the owners.
Yeah.
What I want and what I'll get are 2 different things. As I'm known for following Spurs for over 50 years. Yeah. He needs to not lose to Forest. He needs to not lose to Liverpool, and he needs to not lose to Brentford. So if he got 3 points, he might survive. But I can't see him beating Glasner. Glasner is twice the coach he is.
Yeah.
And it just depends what Liverpool turns up. You know what I mean? I mean, Salah is supposed to be off to AFCON anyway, isn't he? So maybe they'll settle down, maybe they won't. Who knows? I can just see Forest grubbing out a victory. I can't see it any other way.
They're on form. I can't lie. They're on form. I looked at their form table.
They've won tonight.
They're like 6th in the form table.
Yeah, and they've won tonight in Europe.
Jeez.
So tails are up.
Mate, it's looking peak right now. It's looking very peak. Marlon, I mean, while wait. Yeah, go on, bro.
There we go. Don't know. I'll say Liverpool definitely ain't winning. Liverpool always turn up against us. Forest. What's Forest's last home? The last result? I think we can get a draw.
They keep winning, bro.
They didn't win their last league game, did they? Or was that against Wolves?
I think they lost. Then they get bopped by someone. I think they lost their last game.
All right, I'm gonna go Forest draw. Liverpool, they're gonna win. Palace, hard game. I'll say potentially a draw. I'll go for 2 points. Brentford will beat us as well. A draw, loss, loss.
Yeah. We gotta beat Forest. I just cannot look at Wolfie if he beats us. Like, I don't care like other games, but Forest, we gotta beat Forest. That would be embarrassing.
I actually think I know that Sean Dyche has been stinking out the place. I actually think out of all of these games, maybe we might just win the Nottingham Forest game. Legit. Like, I think we could get 3 points there. Liverpool were getting slapped. I mean, Liverpool have been so unlucky. I watched the game against Leeds. They were fuming. If they come with that kind of energy, we're getting turned over, man. 6-7s. Then we've got Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace could win the league if they can keep their players injury-free. People are looking at me like I'm supposed to be. Let me explain. I don't think Arsenal is going to win the league because them man have an issue. A lot of those players at Arsenal suffer from hay fever, so we know we ain't going to worry about them. Then I don't think Chelsea are good enough to win the league. I don't think City's good enough to win the league. I don't think, Liverpool definitely can't win the league. So it means there is a space for someone else. And that someone else could be anybody. Do you know what I mean? And I'm quite happy for that to be Aston Villa or Crystal Palace. But I can say with chest, Arsenal ain't winning the league. So for that reason, I think Crystal Palace slap up Spurs 1-0. And I think Brentford get their revenge. I think Brentford get their revenge in their yard and they slap us up as well. So I'm going 3 points for Spurs. 3 points. So I'm going 3. Sean is going 0. Marlon's going 2. And Eugene is going
5.
It's 5, but there's
it's
more.
crazy how I'm the most optimistic one. That's nuts.
Where was your 3 points, Deji?
I think we might be able to stink it out against Forest, you know. Away to Forest, we might be able to do it, bro.
Forest lost to Everton in their last game.
Say that again?
Yeah. Forest lost to Everton in their last game.
Yeah. I think I have a feeling we're gonna get it over the line against Forest. And also shamelessly to say, we have been getting most of our points away from home. In theory, we could see the complete opposite. We could actually see Spurs get their best points tally in 4 games. Tottenham is crazy enough to get 10 points in this run.
But Liverpool, they're so bad, like defensively. But you know what's gonna happen? Words 0, like nothing. Watch him score hat trick against us. He's gonna pull an Eze. But their back line is shocking. So, if we go at him, I think we can get a point at least from the Liverpool game. If Frank shows intent, and if we actually want to play football, I think we can get some points against him.
Yeah. I don't know why Catch is shaking his bum there in the chat. You heard me. Arsenal ain't winning the league. The sooner you Arsenal fans understand this, the better, and we can move on. So look, Eugene is the only one who's positive in the little Kia channel. That says
That's
a lot
crazy.
about. That is mad. Boy, madness. Quick questions. I want to just touch on 2 questions. Jay Simpson threw some crazy questions that I need you guys to kind of deal with. He says this: I think we got to give him a transfer window or 2. Wasn't Levy still around under the transfer window? You aren't getting nothing while Levy's in charge. Be
No.
real. What say you, brothers? Do we give him 2 transfer windows? Me, I'm done already.
You know, he had a bigger budget than the other managers from previous before.
Yeah.
So how much money do you want to give him more than?
Exactly.
But you know what? It's not even about it. Look, like when a man, like if he sets us up in the right way, let's say if we generate chances, but we cannot finish, I can say our quality is not good enough. We need new players. However, he hasn't shown me enough where I can say with any confidence that with better players, he'll change his lineups or his tactics. I do not know. So whether he like him getting more windows, I do not know whether he'll change things up. If we get, a left winger or a striker, are we still going to be playing in the low block? I don't know. So I just want to see something from him in order to have any confidence that better players will give us better results. Right now, I don't see it.
I agree. The setup is an issue to me, and the XG tells you all the evidence you need.
I don't know which pundit was saying that he doesn't read too much into XGs. I was like, shut him up. I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do. I read a lot into those bloody things. And the fact
To be fair, I didn't until this season because we were breaking records. I was like, what?
Likewise, Marlon. I never even knew what a stat was. I just went on the eye test. Now I've got now I need the stats to back up what my eyes are telling me.
And that's what it is. That this gives more weight to my argument.
Yeah.
The XG, I didn't know what it meant till this season, and it backed up my argument. So I've got more weight behind what I say now. So yeah.
Okay. Other question from Jay Simpson was this. Okay, guys, if we went on the crazy run and got back into the Champions League spot and also got to the last 16 in the Champions League, would you still be Frank?
Doesn't matter, mate. Doesn't matter. We're not winning Champions League again. For me, it's not about like our placement, 8th, 10th, last 16. It doesn't matter. I just want to I want to see us making some progress towards the future because
I want to be entertained, and I just don't see it's going to happen.
But even if it does, Sean, right? Like, okay, we finish top 16 or we get into the quarterfinals, other than the revenue that the club is going to generate, like nothing is going to change. So
you're saying it doesn't matter? He gets us into the last 16 of the Champions League and we get a Champions League spot in the league.
Well, 2 positives would be revenue and experience. If he plays the youngsters, that gives them good experience for the future. However, as far as our prospects going forward, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I don't think we get above 6 from this guy. So for me, it's like, why waste time? Like, he's not going to give us what we want. I want us to be top 4. And I can't see how Spurs will be even top 6 with Thomas Frank in charge. But Sean, would you slightly maybe be a bit more amenable to giving him more time? Because look, top 4 is top 4, whether you like it or not. Last 16 of the Champions League, you bite your hand off.
Do you know the best thing that he's done since he arrived here is he fired that fraud Basuma off the squad. That's the best thing he's done.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can commend him for.
Yeah.
And now it's the season will be long, my friend. The season will be long for us.
We know.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Have you got a space on the Mooncraft for May when them lot win the league and the Champions League?
Hey, hell no,
man!
Mate,
I'm not in London. Otherwise,
if they do the double ID platform, Like, you'll never see me again. If someone stops me in the street and says, "Are you dead?" I go, "Who's that?" Do you know what I mean? Like, you won't. Nah. I deplatform. Hell no. It's peak times when Artillero is nothing but positivity towards Sean this evening. He's sending so much love Sean's way. And Artillero's even asked you to come over there. Mate, what is going on? Artillero's giving invites. I never thought I would see the day. Sean, you've been invited by Artillero.
No, Jay, don't give me that Bison over Bentancur. Oh, come on.
Nah.
Come on.
They both gotta go. Both of them gotta go.
Biss has gone, thankfully. If he could pass a Louis Vuitton shot better than he could pass a ball, then he would be, he might be worse
gotta
than
go.
me. He's terrible. Bentancur's better than bloody Paulinho. We were worse on Saturday.
The thing is with Paulinho, he breaks up play. That's it. Passing ain't great.
His passing dreadful.
Yeah, his passing. If you just want that from a player, then that's fine.
What does Bentancur do?
Bentancur is a better passer of the ball and a progressor of the ball than Paulinho will ever be in his dreams.
Are we sure? He doesn't pass, though. Bentancur, he only passes the ball sideways and backwards. He has not had like one good.
Were you watching him? Were you watching him on Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was passing forwards all the time because he had people to pass to.
That's it. Yeah. If you ain't got no one to pass,
you ain't got no one to pass to. You retain the ball, and how do you retain the ball? You go backwards or you go sideways.
Yeah. But who was the? I mean,
not on Bentancur. That's on his compadres.
But what's the difference between the lineup on Saturday and lineup in previous games? We just played against.
Saturday had Bentancur in. The lineup on Tuesday had Paulinho in it.
Yeah.
I don't rate him. I think
after the injury, I think Bentancur gets a bit of an unfair.
As an 8, we need a progressive 8 who pushes the ball, who controls the tempo. When we play Bentancur, the gap between him and Simmons or whoever is in the 10 is huge. The midfield is wide open. Unless Frank changes his tactics, he hasn't shown me anything in 3 years. After that big injury, he's not good enough. He's a good squad option, maybe, but he's not good enough. We need a top 8 who can control games. Bentancur,
who would you say the 8 then?
Rotter from Brighton. I love that guy. Jorginho Rotter.
Right now, I'd have Drogval and see what he can do.
And you know what? Where are our homegrown players coming from? Where are our homegrown players coming from? We're stuffing our foot. Well, let's have him from here and him from there. What about Tyrese Hall, who's balling for Notts County, or Jamie Donnelly, who's has hit a brick wall at Stoke because the manager won't pick him, or Mikey Moore is now suddenly doing it for Rangers? These are the players that we should be focusing on.
I agree. Instead of spending money,
what happens when we don't focus on homegrown? We finish up with a Champions League squad, which is 3 players short.
Yep, it's true. I agree. But the issue here is us spending money on Tel and Odebert, right? Like, we should not be spending money on 20-year-olds if we have Mikey Moore and Donnelly who are on loan. I agree.
That's a tricky one,
I mean,
sorry for cutting you.
Tel was a waste of money.
If Tottenham didn't buy Tel last season, I guarantee that fan base would have went nuts because we would have been relying on more. I'm telling you, when Tottenham bought Tel, the fans are kind of happy, but it's only now.
No.
I'm talking about at the time.
I think fans were happy when the initial loan went through because it was the Byron hype, but after he showed us nothing the whole last season, I don't think, personally, I haven't seen anything from him. And the funny thing is, when we played Byron in the friendly earlier, we saw what the real good youngsters look like. Yeah. Byron, like Madrid, like Barca, they do not let top prospects go. They just don't. So Tel, for me, for 30 million, when you have Donnelly and Lancashire, it's a waste of money. You could have used that money and Odobert money, 55 million, 60 million, to buy a top left winger or a top 8. But right now,
I thought
it's a waste of money.
I was just going to say, Eugene, I actually don't like any of our midfield. I think they're all right. I think Bergval's all right, Sar's all right. But if I had my way, I would actually get rid of all of them and just reconfigure. Do you know what I mean? I'd bring in like an Adam Walton. I'd bring in a new 8. I'd bring in a new 10. Like, I feel like part of the problem is we've got so much crap that we're trying to fit with the crap that we got, and it ain't quite working. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, Bergval's great, but he will need 2 solid players around him to bring out his quality. But what we've got around him ain't good enough to bring out the best in Bergval. So what is the point if you catch my drift?
Well, but the thing is, it's like either we buy a top player or just don't buy anybody and let the youngsters play.
Yeah.
There is no reason to spend 40 million on an average player. Either give me a top player or just give Archie Gray and Bergval and Donnelly and Lancashire a chance to play.
Can I ask you that question? What does Bergval give to Spurs? And what's his best position?
In 10.
He's an 8 if he's anything.
He's brave on the ball. He's the only one who actually tries to make something happen. His passing isn't good right now, but he's got intent. He takes the ball, he pushes it. He's a runner.
If you're not playing, how do you get that rhythm if you're not playing week in, week out?
I just like his bravery. He's got something about him, like, I don't know where it is, but when I look at him, he's got
I think Gray and Bergval will be great players, but they won't be great players at Tottenham Hotspur.
I mean,
that's the point I'm trying to make. We don't have the infrastructure to bring out the best of these players. I think they're good players, but it's not going to work with what we got. So what we need to do, I think our back 4 is fine. I think get rid of Vicario personally. And then I think we need to start again from the midfield forward. Honestly, that's
got to go.
Big Spurs.
Vicario's got to go.
Say that again. Who's got to go?
Vicario as well.
It's a tricky one,
I've been on to Vicario from day dot. Sean knows.
He's not our biggest issue. He's not our biggest issue, but if we ever want to be a serious team, he's too inconsistent for us.
I don't know.
Like, has he improved from last season or 2 seasons ago? Like, we all know distribution and set pieces are his issues. He's a very good shot stopper, but on set pieces, he's not great. Has he really improved?
How many set piece goals has he let in this year?
What's that?
How many set piece goals has he let in this year?
It's not about that, though, really, is it?
Not as many as before, but he doesn't know how to command the box.
He's goalkeeper, bro. I like stop defending this
I
guy.
just think
he makes me nervous every time I watch him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't agree. I just think because the way we're set up to play, he will see a lot more of the ball. Another thing is, he's gone from playing out from the back to being told to hoof the ball up front to Richarlison, who can't hold the ball up, and whatever his name is, Monaro, whatever his name is. We're playing a total different type of football, which is like, i.e. Brentford style. And it's just not working. You can do it now and again. You can mix it up. But if you look at Tottenham now, a lot of their balls from the back is playing it long. And that's why I say, no one can tell me an identity Tottenham have. What they can, throwing the ball in the box from a set blasted throw-in. That is what Spurs bank on. Throwing the ball from the halfway line or quarter line down the line on the either side of the pitch and throwing it in the box. Spurs have not got no identity. And that's what I've noticed from going to the game. It's like, what are we doing? And
but you know what?
To
give Frank some credit, again, because we're going in on him. I think what does work is the 2 strikers, the 2 up front. Richarlison, I don't rate him whatsoever. He's my probably least favorite Spurs player of all time. However,
I used to like him until I met you.
However, as a second striker, if it's him and Mwani, I think
that works.
2 up front, it might be our best setup. I would play Kudus and Simmons as 2 wide 10s and play Richarlison and Mwani up front. I think that might give us the best chance.
But what they're doing now, they're playing 4-2-2-2-2. Wait, 4-2-2-2.
Well,
So there is actually no width.
Yeah, Sean's namesake was saying that we should do this, a 4-1-3-2 system.
Yep.
Doesn't believe we need a Walton. He said give Tyrus Hall a run, left wing more. So Sean, your namesake is echoing.
No, Wharton is a quality player. He's too good for us, but he's quality, man. I would kill for Wharton.
Yeah.
But
Wharton's not coming anywhere near us.
Yeah, he's not coming. He's going to a proper team.
He's going to go to Liverpool.
So positive, guys.
Yep.
But if we're ambition, if we're a top 6 team, we should be getting Wharton.
But
100 mil? There's no way.
This whole program has been saying we're not a top 6 team.
Fair. Can I just quickly run just a couple of things? Jay asked, is it the assembled? You talked about Jay Simpson, who used to play for Arsenal. I know Jay, well, I know of him. He actually runs a football academy called Every Player Matters down in Walthamstow, so you can catch him there. And I know my brother Dimitri used to play with him, so maybe the assembled, you might know Dimitri, but Jay Simpson is still about, and he did play for Haringey. I met and I know enough brothers who used to play for Haringey, so maybe in another life I bumped into you. Quick question as well, lastly from the floor. Freddie says, are we not positive? Freddie, we already dealt with that question earlier. We don't give a damn. We're not convinced that the last 2 games has meant anything. So not sure about that. And then the last question from Artillero that I would love us to take is, would we take Ange back?
You know my answer. You know my answer to that. You know my answer to that. We were deprived of season 3 with a fully fit defence and a transfer window.
But is our defence fit because they're not playing the high line?
Yep.
No. It's nothing to do with high lines.
But the hamstring injuries, we don't have hamstring injuries anymore. And at Forest,
Doggy's off with a hamstring injury. We've had hamstring injuries this season under Frank, who plays
I'm an Ange defender.
Progressive, pragmatic football.
I'm an Angeologist. I defended Ange until the very end. I would be happy if he'd stayed. However, going back, I don't want Ange. I want Poch. I don't want any of them back. Give me a new manager.
I would take Ange over Frank.
Nah. Wow, Dej. That's
honestly, it's been that bad. I'd take Ange over Frank. I mean, I can't take this crap anymore. I can't even lie to you. I actually would. I'm never gonna lie.
You know, like the best thing about Ange was he tried to instill the bravery and the philosophy at the club that it doesn't matter who we play, we're gonna have a go. And that for me was the most important thing. Even though the execution at times or most of the time was lacking, at least he tried to instill certain things. Now, I have no idea.
Players believed in him. I don't think these players
not enough
in
to win.
Frank.
They believed in him, not enough to win.
Enough to win in Bilbao in May.
Oh, yeah, but
I still think he's a madman. But boy, I don't know. When you got the 2 madmen, I think I might go for one rather than the other. But Jay Simpson is saying, no way, you are really madman. No way you can have Ange back.
No Ange, no Poch. No, just move on. Give me a young manager. Give me a young manager who is,
This Sean, is this you typing on your phone? he sounds just like Sean, don't you think, Eugene? This brother is sure you can just kick back and let this Sean just type in the chat. He said everything you would say. Look at what he's just said. I should not have been fired in this squad and would have killed and should have adjusted his tactics by the end of the season. I'm sure Biskovic and more would not be enough. And for real. But
that's revisionism. Ange did not play any youngsters. Mikey Moore was on the bench. Ange didn't play any youngsters. So again, I liked Ange. I want him to stay, but let's not do the revisionism. He did not, like, one of the criticisms he didn't play youngsters even in Europa. Archie Gray was on the bench. He didn't get any playing time, only at the right back or center back. Mikey Moore was on the bench, so let's not do this.
Yeah. No, okay, fair play, lads. So big up to everyone that's locked in, locked on. We've had another blueprint. Let's hope we can get a result. I think I'm the only one on the panel who's predicted a Spurs win this weekend. No one else.
No, we're gonna win.
You got a Nottingham Forest win, and then you've got 2 draws. Sean has given us no point, like the Eurovision Song Contest, and Marlon has given us 2 points, 2 draws. The draw being Marlon. Can you just remind us who the draws are again?
I was going to say something mad with the draws are. It's Forest and Palace, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Okay, finally, I got to ask one last question. James asked me a lot of questions. He said, Deji, if we lose on the weekend, you gonna debut Get Out My Club? Well, the answer is yes. Look, for people wanting to know why I'm rapping, I'm not a rapper. I don't rap. You can tell by my voice that I've got a terrible voice. But I got to do what I got to do for my club. By the way, Marlon, Eugene, and Sean, I've asked for the Spurs job on a pay-as-you-go basis. And should I be offered the head coach role, I would love you guys to be part of the staff. Yeah, the coaching team. Because bloody hell, we got to knock some common sense into these brothers. Artillero, full back, bro. Full back. I'll be running the track on the weekend. Get Out My Club. I can't even remember the beat, but I will be running that. And I'll be running a remix version of You're Getting Slapped Tonight. So we will see. So look out for that on Sunday. But thank you for being here. Make sure you smash a like. Brothers, let's hope that we are completely wrong and Frank can surprise us. Until then, thank you very much. And we are out. Good night, all.